trailed off, as if she thought the conversation was going on too long or growing too intimate. "I'll tell you something," she said. "I met my husband one day. He took me to Guadeloupe the next weekend, and then I enrolled in Brilliance, and then he asked me to marry him. You'll think I'm crazy, but it all took place in less than 5 weeks. The French understand, but Americans never do." Lydie leaned forward, and she captured the moment, sure as a photograph, the way the sun struck the woman's hair, the blaze of primroses in a jardiniere behind her head, Richelieu's palace casting a shadow on the garden. "I don't think that's crazy," Lydie said. "I believe in love at first sight." "Well," the woman said. She checked her watch, a tiny gold one with Chinese figures instead of numerals. Then she looked at the sky. "I should go. I'm running late." Now Lydie checked her watch. She had planned to go to the Bibliothèque Nationale to look up details of 17th century weddings for a piece in Vogue. Then, like the woman, she gazed up. She felt unwilling to leave. The palace against the blue sky looked dark and ancient, as if it had stood there forever. She wanted to stall for time, to prolong this pleasant, casual conversation with another American. "Where are you off to?" she asked after a moment. "Oh, home," the woman said. "I told my housekeeper she could go online." "Your housekeeper?" "Yes, I'm teaching her to use the computer. Didier bought it when personal computers hit Paris in a big way, but it just sits there." Lydie regarded the woman more carefully. With her jewelry and clothes and slightly regal bearing, she gave the impression of someone who would want distance between herself and a domestic employee. "Are you training her to do your correspondence?" Lydie asked. The woman smiled, but the smile seemed distant. "Kelly wants to improve her life. She's a Filipino from the provinces outside Manila, and she's here in Paris illegally. She's just a little younger than I am. She's been to college. She shares a place with an amazing number of brothers and sisters. Her goal is to get to the United States." "And you want to help her?" Lydie asked, sitting on the edge of her chair. "Well, it's practically impossible." "My parents immigrated to the United States from Ireland," Lydie said. "It's especially hard for Filipinos," the woman said, again looking at her watch. She gathered her bags and stood. "Well, hasn't this been fun?" she said. "Maybe," Lydie began. "We should exchange phone numbers," the woman said, grinning. And while Lydie wrote out her name and number on a piece of notepaper, the dark-haired woman held out a vellum calling card, simply engraved, with an address on the Place des Vosges and the name, Patrice d'Origny. Walking down the Rue des Petits Champs, Lydie felt in no hurry to get to the Bibliothèque Nationale. Even though she had hours of research to do for a photo series that was already a week overdue, she felt like playing hooky. The BBS wheels on a red BMW 750, parked by the curb, caught her eye. Nice wheels, Lydie thought. She had spent many childhood Saturdays at her father's body shop in the Bronx, a cavernous place filled with smells of exhaust and paint, the flare of welding torches, the shrieks of machinery and metal tearing, without seeing many BBS wheels. Her father was the boss, but wore blue overalls anyway. He would leave her in the office, separated from the shop by a glass window, coming back every 15 minutes or so to visit her. "What happened to that car?" Lydie had asked once, watching another wreck towed in. "An accident, darling. He hit a tree off the Pelham Parkway, and he must have been drunk, because he knew how to drive." "How do you know?" Lydie asked, when what she really wanted to know was what had happened to the man. "See his wheels?" her father asked, pointing at the car, leaning his head so close to Lydie's that she caught a whiff of the exhaust that always seemed to cling to his hair and clothes. "They're BBS. A man doesn't buy wheels like that if he doesn't know how to drive." To her father, knowing how to drive